What's going on, guys? It is Shay here. Welcome back to another video. And today, everybody, this is actually the first time I have recorded a video with my face in it. Like, you know, well, in a minute. The last time I recorded a video with my face in it was, if I'm correct, my video where I said, you know, I had 8 years on YouTube. And I actually kind of lying on that part because the first time I actually recorded a video, you know, with my face in it was actually a minute ago. Actually, a few seconds ago, actually. However, I changed my mind on uploading that video. It was a video about some stuff that happened to me earlier this month that was more than likely the worst day of my life, if not the most depressing day of my life. But I feel like that's a lot to get into. If anybody wants to know what happened, just go to my Instagram. There's a highlight of it on my profile. If anybody wants to go see that, I explain a little bit about it. If anybody wants me to elaborate on it more, DM me up there. I'll tell you what I can tell you. So let me move this camera a bit. But today, everybody saw the title. So today, we're going to be showing off, or I am going to be showing off, my CD collection. So over the course of this year, first off, I will show this off first, I guess, because why not? But before I discuss about this, over the course of this year so far, I think starting in either February or March, I got my first 2 CDs after I got into the virtual band Gorillaz, which I will show off in a minute, but I will be showing them off in order. Excuse me, I'll be showing them off in the order of the years that all these albums were from, because I have, I think, 11 official albums, which I plan on getting way more than that, from either other artists or from the same person. If I'm correct, this is probably about 12 or 13 albums because I burn CDs, yes, I do. And before the feds get on my ass for this, yes, I do legally own a majority of the albums. Because I do know, and if anybody's wondering, oh yeah, why do you want to get the feds gonna get on you? Well, I mean, in some places, or if not in a majority of places, no, actually, no, I don't think a majority, but in some places, burning CDs are illegal. And I also have some personal mixes of mine, which of course are mixtapes. Those were the whole reason why I even bought blank CDs in the first place. And if anybody wants to know, I still have some blank CDs. These don't have anything on them though. And they are just pretty much here to whenever I want to make another mixtape. Before we start, I want to show this thing off. So, if anybody is wondering what this is a DC-17 hand blaster from Star Wars. This is a 3D printed prop of the blaster. I actually bought this back last month, and I built it last month. I really love this thing. This blaster is so cool, and I built it myself. It was actually relatively easy to build, and I could have swore I heard something like crack back here the last time I picked this thing up, or I accidentally hit the back of this, but I don't know. So yeah, that's the thing, and it's a really cool blaster. Now the trigger was supposed to be spring loaded, but I fucked up the spring thing in here because I didn't know how to install it because it didn't come with instructions or anything. So I pretty much had to get this thing the right way and all that. So yeah, and I like this thing. It is extremely cool blaster. It doesn't do anything. It's just a prop, and I really like playing around with it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into this video. So yeah, with that being said, let's begin. So I figured we start off with the official stuff first. Now it's funny because I've actually made a video like this prior, like last month, but that was on my computer. But I figured we go ahead and start off with official albums. So out of this entire thing, I have at least played almost all of these, if not every one of these albums, either once or multiple times. At least once, at least. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into this. As I said, we're gonna go into order that these came out of from the years of 1998 all the way up to 2023. So yeah, here we go. So the first one that I have here is System of a Down, their self-titled album, one of my favorite albums from them. Now this, I was dead set on at least finding this at like a record shop. Now I went to record shops, I think, it was early September. I went to record shops, and in the capital city of North Carolina, you know, Raleigh. I went to record shops out there to see if they had anything. They didn't have anything Gorillaz or System related, and this was it. Anybody does not know, I am a big System of a Down fan, even though I just got into them, I think, about 4 to 5 months ago. I'm a really big fan of them, even though they don't make music, they don't make music anymore. Well, Serge and Darren still do, and Chavo and John still do at times. But this is the thing, standard case. I love the album cover. We can open this up. We got the CD and the booklet right there. Nice little generic looking CD. So yeah, I would take out the CD, but I'm not doing that. Or not CD, the booklet. So yeah. Ooh, freaking hat is a lot. I love this hat, by the way. Next up, we have in 1999, Slipknot's is self-titled. I should point out, I'm not really a big fan of Slipknot. I do like some of their music though. Their self-titled album is the best, man. I might get Iowa at one point, but I should also point out, as I said, I'm not a really big fan of them. I'm more of a System guy, but I really like their music. Well, yeah, their music's very, very fucking cool. But this is it. This is not the original case it came in. Funny enough, the original case it came in was fucking cracked. So that's one thing. But yeah, this is what the front looks like. You also have the back. Actually, did I even show the back's the System? There it is with all the songs. And I will be saying my personal favorite songs off of all these albums. But that's the back. Give you a little look. Fucking, there we go. If it'll show, I'll do that. Just, camera, focus please. You can see that, right? But that's what their thing looks like. You have all the members up here, all of them up there. Next up, in 2001, would be Toxicity. System of a Down's most popular album. I don't know what is with this album, man. I have played this in full, but there's the front. No, you know, parental advisory, explicit lyrics, like no sticker like that or anything. You have the back, full fucking focus. You have all the tracks there. You have all the members there. Open up. This is what it looks like on the inside. The CD definitely looks a little bit better in terms of the original because, I mean, how I take it, they had a better budget for this. There's the booklet with them. What looks like they're about to start recording music. Let's see. Yeah, here's a comparison of their first CD. It looks very generic. So here's those from like top to bottom. It looks very generic. This one does. Now they technically both do, but this one looks a tad bit more better. It looks a little bit more crude, actually. Next one, we're moving from System, or we're moving from metal in general to Gorillaz. Even though the next fucking album is metal, but this is Gorillaz, their self-titled album. I like this album, it's pretty cool. And funny how this is not the original case it came in. My original case broke, so I ended up switching this out to a very complicated CD case that has a very floppy piece right here. It was a BTS CD case my mom had, so I switched it out for this, and it's pretty damn good. But yeah, for Gorillaz is self-titled, so we're gonna open this back up one more time. For a first release of a CD, it's actually pretty fucking colorful. And because I think I'll actually be able to get this out, okay, never mind, I think I won't be able to. I was gonna try to take this out, like the booklet. The booklet, of course, contains, not lyrics, but it contains pictures and everything like that. The next one we have here, we're going back to System of a Down. That is indeed Steal This Album. Steal This Album is probably a lot of System fans' least favorite album. I don't know why. This album is perfectly fucking good. So, unlike any other System CD, this one has no booklet because I think they said that because they wanted it to look like that this was like a burned CD or something, or like a CD that was like burned or whatever. We have Steal This Album there. No booklet to see, so all we have is a CD and the back. with all the songs up here. My favorite song off of this album is Chicken Stew and Theta Waves. I love Theta Waves a lot. A lot of people don't like, many people don't like this album a lot. And if anything, most people like the 8th track of the album. I'm not saying the fucking name because it's a tongue twister to me. I can sing it, but I don't feel like doing that. But this came out in 2002. But yeah, it's a very good fucking album. I'd rather listen to this than Toxicity. Some people are probably gonna murder me for that, but I don't fucking care. Going back to Gorillaz, we have Demon Days, their most popular album. Because Feel Good Inc. is up here. This is also not the original case, because the original case does not have this black piece here. It's clear there. You have the booklet, which has all the songs there, and you have the CD. I actually ran this through my CD player a while back. Speaking of my CD player, right there. Which I might show off. I don't know. I don't really be so fucking good about a CD player. You have the back, which has some of the, no, it has all the band members, and of course, the songs. I really like this. My PlayStation just turned off. Now, the last System of a Down album that I have up until I get mesmerized is Hypnotize. Technically, the last album from System of a Down, and my second favorite album from them. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump straight into the look of this. Very, very nice here. Actually, let's take a look at the front. You have a little sticker there. I'm gonna let the light shine on that. And also, the whole front of the album is embossed. It's embossed with the little emblems and everything. Nice little thing there. Sticker there as well. You could actually just remove that, but I don't want to. Oh wait, fuck me. Open that up, and most System fans know this, but if you were to own the, if you own Mesmerize and Hypnotize, you could merge the two albums together, and then it forms a nice little art piece. There's a sticker. Here's the CD, by the way. Christ, can I not speak? Has one of the faces, or it looks like one of the skulls up here. And you have the track list back here. There's also a booklet in here. Oh crap. The booklet, if I'm correct, is right here in the middle. Yep. If I can get, yeah, I don't even think I can get that out. Well, actually, technically I can. So this will be the only booklet I'll show off here. This is pretty much just what the album looks like without it being embossed or anything, or without the thing. And here, I don't actually really check this out much, but this is all art. I think this is by Darren's dad, if I'm correct. And this flips out to show the lyrics. But yeah, you have all of that. Very, very nice artwork off of this. So we're gonna slip this back in there. And that does it for Hypnotize. Oh crap, I don't want to bend this or anything. So the next album that I have is from a fairly unknown band. They're a garage rock band that started out well back, I think, in 2004. But their first album came out in 2006. And that is indeed Be Your Own Pet. If anybody knows who fucking Rolf Asso is, they are a, and for anybody who doesn't know what they are a Swedish synth punk band, and they made a song on their self-titled album called Gem and a Pearl, the last song of that album. It's actually an EP. It only consists of 4 songs. It's still one of my favorite albums from them, but the song is called Gem and a Pearl. Gem and a Pearl is the lead singer of Be Your Own Pet. That is how I got into these people, alongside the other 3 bands that they made songs of, or that they named as, it's kind of hard to fucking explain. But they made songs, but they named their songs after 4 singers from, you know, different bands. And they're all girls, which is pretty cool. It's always nice to get, you know, a female lead singer instead of a dude. But this one has like a little fold out open case. This is used. This is not brand new. I got this off Amazon, I think, for like technically $6. Well, technically $3, but $6 in terms of shipping and everything. And this is what it looks like. I really like this album. We're gonna open this thing up. You have the track list there. This consists of 15 songs. And the disc here, very nice. I should not do that because I think I could potentially scratch that up. But yeah, here's the back. Nothing to really gloat about. The next album that we have here is going to be Gorillaz again, the Now Now. This is if not one of the very few albums that I have that are original, or it's or one of my only other Gorillaz, if not the only Gorillaz album that is. This still has its original like case. Well, if you're talking plastic cases, then yes, this is the only one that I have left that is still in its original case. Because Gorillaz, Demon Days, and yeah, that's it. Those are the only other albums that have plastic cases, and they didn't survive. I had to get put in another one, but this one remains in its other one. And if anybody follows me on Instagram, had saw that on my story, I put that I finally played this album in full for the first time ever since I bought it back on June the 15th when I was in Pennsylvania with my sister. I bought that. I bought this here. I bought that at an FYE store, for your entertainment store. I'm looking forward to going back there again. But I played this album in full, and I did not realize that this album was a tad bit cracked in some places. I can't tell if this was when I bought it. Wait, if this was here when I bought it, but it might have been. Like, there's a crack right here, and there's a crack right here on the side of the case. But we're gonna open this up. You have the band here. As I said, this was in phase 5. This is when Murdoch got put in jail for like the fucking 10,000th time, and he was replaced by Ace. And the disc is very fucking pretty. You have 2D on the disc. And if you were to take the disc out of the case, if I can take it out of the case, you have the unwarped version of 2D there, which is very cool. He looks so sad, man. I want to give him a hug. And just to prove to you that this was my first time ever listening to this thing on a CD and just listening to the album in full in general, because the Now, if I'm correct, was one of the only albums, if not the only Gorillaz album I have never listened to in full. And holy hell, this was a very, well, depending in certain areas, it's a mix of emotions, but for the most part, it's a calm and soothing album. Idaho, Sorcerers, and all those songs are fucking beautiful, man. Firefly is nice. Sokai, of course. But yeah, of course, this is what the front. You have the warped version of 2D there. You have the sticker here, which is not on a vinyl, but it is on the CD for whatever reason. But very, very nice album from this. This is a lot of people's least favorite Gorillaz album. Like, the least favorite album from Gorillaz for whatever reason. But I find it to be kind of cool. I played this in my CD player. CD player's right, if I can move my leg, my CD player's right there, yeah. And I played this with my CD player for the first time, or just through any CD player for the first time ever since I bought it. I never played this thing in full because I was actually kind of afraid to, because of my whole deal, my whole situation with Sokai at the time. I turned to that song as a song that I would cry to. But yeah, that is the Now. This came out in 2017, same year that Humans came out. And the next album, the last 3 albums are Gorillaz related. Song Machine. I listened to this album twice in full. Yeah, I listened to this thing in full twice. If you count just the first one. I listened to this when we were leaving Pennsylvania, and I actually listened to this last night when I was with my mom. This album is fairly weird. I mean, isn't that with every fucking Gorillaz album? But when you open it up, I will cover the sides because the CDs are on both sides. And funny enough, this is the deluxe version of, I was about to say System of a Down. This is the deluxe version of Song Machine. I was about to say Sugar, what the fuck? But this is the deluxe version of Song Machine. The original version is, of course, just green, just only has one CD. But the deluxe version has a red cover instead of a blue cover. And just to prove that this is a deluxe, the first CD, if I can slide it out, there's a fucking thing. This is the first CD right here. The second CD, if you turn 2D over where you can see Noodle, we're gonna take this out. Also carefully. Christ, come on. There's disc number 2. And this one consists, how many tracks does this consist of? Wasn't it 7 extra or 6 extra bonus tracks? And I put this out the wrong way. You do it this way, you just see fucking 2D. Put it out that way. Let me see, because the track list is right here. It's on a sticker. Can you even see that? Yeah, it's right here. But it's a sticker and you can barely even fucking see it. Let's see. It stops at Momentary Bliss. That's the last song of the album. So going off of that, you have 6 extra songs. So those are just bonus tracks. And yeah, this is a very nice fucking album, man. And I'm very lucky to get this, the deluxe version of this, and for it to be costing so little. Because because from what I know, I would expect deluxe versions of albums to cost a lot more, like a little bit like more than what the standard versions of these cost. But at the FYE store, that's how much it cost. It costs like, I think, 14 bucks, which is roughly the same price as every Gorillaz album I bought. I spent $44 on those CDs, by the way. And the last album that we have here is Cracker Island. This and Gorillaz' self-titled album are my first albums my first CDs that I ever bought. Originally, and I will actually tell the story behind this in a minute, but we're actually gonna look at this. Got the album here. The album's very small. You have the band members on the inside. They've changed a lot ever since. The booklet is right here. I guess this will be the only other booklet that I'll show off because it's so easy just to get out. It just features the band members doing all sorts of weird stuff. You have album here. Wait, what did I just say? The album here? I meant to say the fucking songs there. And then the next page you have that with them there. I actually have a shirt of them right here. I would find it, but it's probably somewhere hidden. Excuse me. You have Murdoch and Russell. The next page you have 2D and Noodle. If you're like, oh yeah, you guys can see that very quickly. And you have this right there. Which, if you were to buy the vinyl of that, you would get a full-on poster of that, which is like this. And you just have more pictures of the band, you know, just doing whatever. Not Murdoch. You have Russell over eating a burger. You have this, pretty nice. And you of course have the album cover right there. You have what are their names? 2D and Noodle there, and you have everybody here. Wait, where's Murdoch? Oh, he's on the fucking staircase, looking dumb as hell. Look at him. He has that weird face too. And probably my favorite part of the booklet is the last 4 pages of the album, of the booklet. You have Murdoch here. He looks so cool here. You have Noodle. What is she doing? I don't know what she's doing. Unless she's chewing on like a chopstick, on like a toothpick or something. You have Russell, and you have 2D there. It's really funny because they all look like their respective ages. And 2D's like, what, 46, right? Well, at this time he was 45. If I'm correct, right? No, he was like 44 at this time, if I think correctly. Yeah, he was 44 at this time because this came out in 2020. No, 2023, so he was 45. I'm wrong. So we're gonna slip that back in there, and it's really funny. I have played this and Gorillaz' self-titled album in full multiple times, and because the disc can just easily fall out, I will take this out. This is what their CD looks like, very nice. And just to prove that I've played this multiple times with like my mom's van or whatever, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can't see the fucking scratches. I'm taking it out like you guys can fucking see it. Slide that outside, but so this can go back. There we go. And here's the back of the album. Nothing special to look at, right there. Just has the track, like, you know, the track list and everything. But that pretty much about does it for all my official albums. So now I'm gonna go through all these albums and tell everybody what my favorite song from every album is. I've already said it for System and Slipknot's is self-titled, but I will say it again. System of a Down, my favorite song from this, and if I only had to choose one, my favorite song from this album is D-Devil. For Slipknot, my favorite song from this album is Eeyore, the bonus track of the album, but not counting the bonus track, Eyeless. For Gorillaz' self-titled album, Starshine. For Toxicity, it's either Prison Song or Psycho, but if I had to choose one, Prison Song. For Seal This Album, if I had to choose one, Theta Waves. For Demon Days, White Light. For Hypnotize, She's Like Heroin. Most people, I should also point out, most people don't like She's Like Heroin, and as if I think if not one of System's like least liked songs. I think because most people say that because it deals with a very sensitive subject, but I guess not. I really like She's Like Heroin. It's one of my all-time favorite System songs. Be Your Own Pets, my favorite song from this album. It's either Girls on TV or Fill My Pill. But if I had to say one, Girls on TV. The Now Now. I actually have a few favorite songs to pair, with those being Humility, 1% and Sokai. If I had to choose one, Sokai. Song Machine. I don't really have any favorite fucking songs on this album, but if I had to choose one, it would either be Valley of the Pagans or The Lost Chord. And if I had to choose one, probably Valley of the Pagans. And last but not least, if I had to, for Cracker Island, this one, my favorite song up here is Cracker Island. Either that or Silent Running or New Gold. It's one of those, yeah. It's definitely one of them, but if only one, Cracker Island. So now we're moving on to the next CDs, and these are going to be albums that I want on a CD, but they don't exist on a CD. That's one of the main, if not the only reason why I even burn those on a CD in general. So here they all are right here. The first one you can see up here is already Coconuts. Starting off, 2010, we have Coconuts, their self-titled album. At the time was their first and only album that they had. So Coconuts, it's a fairly unknown, fairly underground and niche band. They've only released 2 albums in their entire discography, so in total they only have about, I think, 11 songs. This one consisted of 6, so you can more say this is an EP, but they consider it an album. One of my all-time favorite bands right here. I love Coconuts to fucking death. So, opening up these, there's not really much on these CDs, and I think I may have just put a fingerprint on the CD, but it's really not much. It's literally just the CD with the name written on it. Nothing else in here. It's literally just the CD, if I can slide this back, and the album cover. That's literally it. And when I had this album cover printed out and completely put up here, man, I was fucking ecstatic to get that. Next up is El Horvo. His first ever album he released, if my camera will focus. To Stop You Must Die. Can you please focus, camera? I would really like for you to focus on me. This came out in 2011, and is one of my all-time favorite albums from him. Now this album is this CD is a tad bit, well, not CD, but the case is a tad bit cracked. Because I did put this in storage for a minute. And I think I gave this CD case, the one that was in, I think I gave that to Demon Days after I switched Slipknot's self-titled over to that CD case. But this is their first ever album. It's not a self-titled or anything. It's their first ever album. It is an hour long. Now, for anybody who does not know who El Horvo is, anybody who is a fan of Hotline Miami should know who he is because he made the very famous song Daisuke from Do Not Lay Waste to Homes. That's the song, or that's one of, I guess you could say, that's one of Beard's themed songs. And I know I'm pretty sure I'm not saying that's the title of the song correctly. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying it right, but that's the best I can say it. So sorry if I am saying it wrong. But this is To Stop You Must Die, one of my favorite albums from him. I'll tell all my favorite tracks of all these albums at the end. But yeah, that's that right here. This consists of, I think, 14 songs, but sadly on this CD there only is 13 because it can only fit 13. Well, in terms of how long the songs are, it can only fit 13. So if I were to ever buy another CD, like one that can hold more songs, like over 14 songs that are like an hour long in the thing, I will 100% remake this. But this is what the album looks like. To Stop You Must Die. Has a little skull, and I don't know what this is, what looks to be a phone. This is what it was, because these do, a lot of these, if not a majority of his albums do exist on cassette tapes, but they were extremely limited. And they're very hard to find. But that's what it looks like, and that was what was on the cassette tape. And I took the details from the cassette tape and drew them on the CD. So that's To Stop You Must Die. El Horvo is also a fantastic painter. I think he's more known for his art than he is for his music. But that's that. Next one we have is also El Horvo, Do Not Lay Waste to Homes, released in 2012. Oh Christ, I see that this thing is weird, but this paper, like the paper for this, it's very weird because it likes to sometimes fall out. See, look at that shit. My phone is off. So this is Do Not Lay Waste to Homes. This is El Horvo's second album. Well, it's an EP, but it's the second thing that he released for his discography. This album is well known for having 2 tracks from this album in Hotline Miami, with those being Daisuke and Crush. I would say Crash. But originally I only liked this because Daisuke was up here. It was one of my favorite songs from El Horvo at the time until I actually explored his music. And I really wanted this on a CD. I'm gonna open this up. So here is the inside. Do Not Lay Waste to Homes right there, with a very crudely drawn skull, because that was featured a lot on his like cassette tapes, which I did take from that. Next up we have here is Fucking World of Assos' self-titled album, which came out after the first album, which is weird. This is the second album. This is what the CD looks. It just says ST Fucking World of Asso, and I do play this a lot. But yeah, if anybody wants to give any of these people like a listen to, give them a shot, then Spotify is where it is. They're also on YouTube, of course. But yeah, going back to El Cuervo, we have his third EP, or second EP, but third album, Where You Must Rest Your Weary Bones. Pretty much the not the equivalent, but the second, I guess you could say, the sequel to Do Not Lay Waste to Homes. I really like the album cover. This is one of my least favorite albums from him, because this album is very glitchy, very, not in a bad way, but it's very glitchy. It's very upbeat, which is a very good thing, very jaunty, especially the first 3 tracks of the album. But this is what the inside looks like. If this will stay in. Where You Must Rest Your Weary Bones, with that skull there. And it's also an hour long. I think a majority of his first albums were like an hour long. The next album that we have here is also from El Cuervo. This one came out in 2020. This is his, I think this is, if I'm correct, his like 4th or 8th album, like actual album, because I think the next few ones he would release were studio or like EPs. This one's an actual album. This is called A Thing with Feathers. And also this one was also loose. A lot of my things here are very loose for whatever reason, I don't know. But there's it is right there, A Thing with Feathers, with the skull as well, right there. This album was more of I wouldn't say this is a filler album. This thing is probably a very good studio album that he just decided to make. Alongside, you know, Dennis Whedon, lead singer of FWA. Dennis Whedon did bass. He's also the bass player of FWA. But this album was very good. I think this has, if I'm correct, 14 songs. It's 12. No, 12 or 13 songs up here. The next 2 were released the following year. In 2021, we have Veteran Vulture with his first album out of the 3 of these, Heretic. I really love this album. It's very, very fucking cool. Here's the inside of it. There's not really many things to look at on the CD, but there it is. Heretic, you have the album cover there. Very fucking, like, very, not gloomy, it's a very dark and mysterious album, I guess you would say. Next up we have here is the second in that series. I mean, it was 3 CDs that has this exact same like the exact same album, like with the what looks like the Grim Reaper or something, and it just has like a different sun in the background. Here's the difference, by the way. Like this one's darker, this one's lighter, more like a sunset. This one's called Hecatoon. I like this only because it's like it has like one of my favorite tracks up here. It's the first song of the album, but there is a CD. Very fucking good album, and the last one with that would be Hexen, but I don't like that album, and I didn't burn it on a CD. And even if I were to burn it on a CD, I probably would not really run it that much. Next up we have here is also something that was released in 2021. Midnight Caller, Unknown Callers' Midnight Deluxe. This is an album, it's a sample project that he did. Unknown Caller is a very unknown artist. He's a niche guy, a very niche artist. Not many people know about him, but this guy, he makes his own music. I think it's more of either pop or like alternative rock. I don't know, or alternative pop, if that's even a thing. But this one was a sample project that consists of a lot of old 80s songs that were transformed into vaporwave-esque songs. Midnight Deluxe, there you have the thing there. Next up, and the last one that we have of the official album, or the official albums my ass, the other albums, I just hit the table, if I can move my fucking leg, is Coconuts' second and last album, 2. Sorry, what it's called. Just to prove it, it looks like an S in my camera, because it's flipped. But it kind of like a Z, but no, it's just 2. This is what it's called. And this is also available on vinyl. Their self-titled was also available on a vinyl, but that sold out a ticket pretty quickly, and that's also extremely hard to find. So that does it for all of those. So now we're going to discuss all my favorite songs from every single album of theirs, or just every single album from this. Coconuts is self-titled. I love every song on this album. Oh my god, my camera got dark. But I love every song off of this album. But if I had to choose one, Dark World. To Stop You Must Die. I have a few favorite songs up here, but if I had to choose one, Vagabond, the first song of the album. Do Not Lay Waste to Homes. Actually, every fucking song up here is good. If I had to choose one, Bones. FWA, they're self-titled. Every song up here is good as well. If I had to choose one, Eva Spence. Where You Must Rest Your Weary Bones. If I had to choose one, Substance. A Thing with Feathers. I actually have a few favorite tracks up here, but those being Precipice, Temple, and The Setup. If I had to choose out of all of those, probably Temple. Heretic, Veteran Vulture. Every song up here is good. If I had to choose one, it's between Crippling Depth and Cemetery Cowboy, but if I had to choose one, Cemetery Cowboy. Hecatomb, also from Veteran Vulture. If I had to choose one up here, it would be Stop Doing Coke and Please Die. First song of the album. Midnight Deluxe, I was gonna say Midnight Caller again, but Midnight Deluxe. Every song up here is good. And I actually have a few favorite songs, with those being the last 3 songs of the album, with those being Leisure, High Rise, and 4 AM. But if I had to choose that one out of all of them, 4 AM. Because that's how I was introduced to this guy in the first place. And the very last album, Coconuts, is 2. There are 5 songs in this. Every song up here is good. If I had to choose one, either Paramount or Disgusted. But if I had to choose one, Disgusted. Alrighty, and the last things we have here, except for a vinyl behind me, these are what got me into CD making originally. Now, originally, there's a very, very big fun fact with this, but originally, I only wanted the CDs just to collect them. The whole reason why I got Gorillaz and Cracker Vinyl. The only reason why I got Gorillaz and Cracker Islands as CDs in the first place was only because I just wanted to collect them. I didn't plan on really running those through a CD player or anything, because I could play, oh yeah, because I got like Spotify. No, that's only when I don't have internet. So yeah, I think in total I have about 13, about 13 mixtapes, but I also forgot one, which is up there, so give me one quick second. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at all of these, and we're gonna start up with the very first one I did. I started burning CDs when I was with my mom, when we went to go on a trip to New York, just me and her, because she went to go see a K-pop concert of a group called Hyphen with a friend of hers. And down there, I got a CD drive for my computer and blank CDs, and I made 10 mixtapes of my own. These are personal mixes of mine. We're gonna first start out with the first one, which is Indeed, called Stoner's Corner. Some of these I do have album covers for, but this was not the first one I did. This was actually fairly recently. The first album cover I think I made for any of these is probably like the second one, I think. But this one, that's what it is right there. Stoner's Corner sounds like as what you would expect. It's it consists of, and I also have the names of like all the artists that are featured up here. Stoner's Corner, these are their songs from Sonora, El Cuervo, Desmond Cheese, Muscle, which is, I know that's not the way you pronounce his name, Smoke Trees, and Old Future Fox Gang. Anybody who does not know who Sonora is, he makes psychedelic rock, or neo-psychedelia music, psychedelic rock, and pop and all that. But however, though, one thing that is consistent with all of these mixtapes is that one thing they all have in common is they all have at least one track from El Cuervo up there. This consists of a lot of you know psychedelic music, lo-fi at times, and all that crap. So yeah, next one that we have here is going to be Underground Rock Addict. I don't really like this all that much. There's like, I think, one track up here that does not fit. And what's ironic is that I forgot this sometimes likes to twist. And there's a CD. But why I don't like this is that there are some tracks up here that don't even fit, because some of these aren't even like rock. They're either goth punk or goth rock, or like they're not even they're like just punk or something. But you have it called Underground Rock Addict. These songs that are featured up here are from Coconuts, El Cuervo, Veteran Vulture, and Gorillaz. I think there are, if I'm correct, 2 tracks from Coconuts up here. The next one we have here, and it's knocked down Slipknot. The next one that we have here, this is not even closed all the way, is going to be Contemplation, one of my favorite mixtapes I've ever made. The album cover looks pretty fucking cool. And Contemplation. It features songs from Gorillaz, El Cuervo, Scattle, and Old Future Fox Gang. Originally it said Unknown Caller and Ties, but I think I may have been writing the wrong one, so I crossed those out instead. That's what the CD looks like, by the way. All the artists, now you can see that's where I like crossed out the names of like Unknown Caller and Tide. This consists of a lot of music that, of course, as the name suggests, you will be like contemplating very hard about, because double bass is in here. Like Gorillaz' double bass is in here, which is under self-titled, one of my favorite songs from them. And the song has an unsettling and eerie vibe to it already, so that's one of the reasons why I even put it in here in the first place. Makes you think a lot. So anyways, the next one that we have here is Wanderer. I was about to say Midnight Caller for some reason. Again, why do I want to say Midnight Caller? But yeah, you have I'm about to say Contemplation, Wanderer. You open this thing up, if I can open it up. Oh, so this is, oh, that cracked. Wow, the little piece right here is cracked. Let's see here. Wanderer, you have the CD there. I don't know why this CD case is blue, but it is. These are, and most of these were used CD cases that my mom never needed anymore. So you have songs from Unknown Caller, El Cuervo, of course, Hughes, Ontro, Dragon Roots, and Tides. This consists of a lot of lo-fi. I'm about to say LIFO. I don't know what's gonna be mixing up my words today. But it consists of a lot of lo-fi. What's we want to say LIFO? What the fuck is that even supposed to mean? But you have it consists of a lot of lo-fi music, and everything. Next up we have here is Sad and Bruised. Now, I wanted to at least do maybe at least one somber, or kind of like, you know, downbeat, down tempo album, like not album, but mixtape. And this is my chance to do that. So right here, this one is called Sad and Bruised. There's a CD right there, and the album cover is right here. You have all those guys up here. And the songs consist of, this is the only, I think if not the only, yeah, if I'm correct, this is the only mixtape that I've made that does not consist of El Cuervo. This one consists of songs from Modulo Geek, The Big O, Deck Arranger, and Gorillaz and Inglewood. The Big O is, I think, an anime that, because it features one of the songs up here which I did modify. And the song, and it features also a song from the Deck Arranger soundtrack, which I use for my Deck Arranger fan character, Soichiro Atsu. I use that for its theme song. But yeah, the last song up here, I think there's only like 6, which Mark says is one of my, if not the shortest mixtape that I've made. The last song up here is To Binge, and there it is right there, like, well, Plastic Beach that is. But the next one was somewhat the exact opposite of the last one, and that is indeed Arcade Life. This CD case is fucking weird. There's no album cover to this, so why not just open it? Arcade Life, there's a CD. Up here, it consists of songs from Kuranes, Kendall Miles, Kretz, I'm not saying his name right, Mr. Kafer, El Cuervo, and Hotel Pool. So this consists of a lot of lo-fi and vaporwave. Short and sweet to the point, right? Evenings in Paradise. As I said, there's no album cover to this. I think for the rest of these, there's no album covers, and I don't plan on making those because they are hard to make. Because it's hard to get them down to the right dimensions, and having to screw around with a fucking printer all the time. We have Evenings in Paradise. This one consists of songs. Also, these fucking CD cases are a bitch. Anyways, it consists of songs from Wexter, 97 Special, Nightmares on Wax, Shiro, Whitewoods, Adelia, and many more. And I'm pretty sure El Cuervo is up here. It also consists of a JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Eyes of Heaven soundtrack, which is pretty fucking funny. So, yeah, that's that. For Evenings in Paradise. This one has a lot of jamming songs to it. Next up we have is probably my least favorite mixtape, Goth and Punk. This one has Veteran Vulture, Gorillaz, Bass Drum of Death, and Meat Market. Meat Market and Bass Drum of Death, some people may know them for being two artists that made music for Sunset Overdrive. But that's what the CD looks like. It's nothing fucking special. But yeah, that's what the CD looks like. It's one of my least favorites. I even tried to like see if I could remove all the songs up here by ripping them from the CD. well, excuse me, but I also had to remember and kind of forgot that these are only CDs that you can just put something up here or songs up here and they permanently stay up there. You cannot take them off. They're not rewritable CDs. Anyways, next one we have here, Slaughterfest, one of my other least favorite ones. This consists of songs from System of a Down, FWA, Gorillaz, and Coconuts. Now, the reason why I don't like this is because there are a lot of songs up here that that don't even fit like the definition of a Slaughterfest. Like you have, I do know the first track up here is Chicken Stew, but the one song up here that I do not really see fit to be up here is what is it? Glitter Freeze from Gorillaz' Plastic Beach album. It's just I don't understand how that song would be able to even fit a thing like you know, like be able to fit an album or like a CD or a mixtape or something like that. I don't know. It's also in my Nothing But Chaos mixtape on Spotify. It's also in that playlist. But the next one that we have here is probably one of my favorite mixtapes. It is Lost in Miami. This is the 10th one that I made. And also, Slaughterfest was how I started getting, or which is like a sign that or my earlier signs of how I started getting, or that I either started getting into System of a Down or started getting more into them. Slaughterfest. Lost in Miami. This consists of songs from Tupperwave, Macross 8299, Unknown Caller, El Cuervo, Tides, Sweeps, and many more. I really like this album. It's very, very soothing. I actually plan on, I might just play this later on. The next one that we have here, these are the last few ones. Actually, this is technically a mixtape right here, so I will show this off right here. This is the 13th one this is the 11th one I made. So, okay, I'm maybe thinking about the other thing, because the other two are not actual, like, mixtapes, like, of the ones that just consist of different artists. This one is called Aesthetics. From the name, or as the name suggests, this is a vaporwave mixtape. This one consists of songs from, first off, I got the artist's name wrong. The artist's name is Home instead of Odyssey. Saint Pepsi, Unknown Caller, White Woods, Macintosh Plus, and more. So no El Cuervo on this one, because this is vaporwave, and that's not what he is. And the last two ones that I have here are System of a Down mixtapes. This one was the first. It even just explicitly says System of a Down mixtape. I tried putting the song names up here, but we're only able to get 8 up here. And the songs are The Metro, 36, Sweet Pea, Blue, Marmalade, Frick, Qbert, Darts, and then you have 5 other tracks. It was supposed to be in the fashion or in the style of their 4th demo tape that they made. But yeah, the next one we have here is a B-side mixtape for System. It consists of 8 songs, and I played this many times. You have The Missing Song, Marmalade, Storage, Honey, Temper, Johnny, Frick, and Blue. I really like this one, but I've only played it very few times. But these are more so, like, I guess, standalone mixtapes. So, oh man, I think I got everything done, right? Oh wait, we still have a vinyl left. I should point out that this is not my first vinyl that I've ever bought. It stays in this paper mostly because I don't have anywhere to put this, nor do I have a record player at the moment, which I do plan on getting one in the future. Slide back. And this one is of Gorillaz, of course. And this is why I went to those record shops that day. This is of the Now Now. This and Cracker Island are the only vinyls that I own. I got Cracker Island when I was back in New York as a vinyl. It was the only thing I could find at the time. And when I went to record shops out here in North Carolina in Raleigh, this was the only vinyl of Gorillaz that I could find. They had Cracker Island there, but I wasn't gonna get it again because that would have just been another duplicate. But here's the front. Way better, like you can see this like way better than the CD. You got the back with the things there, and it just slides out. And before I actually take the vinyl out, here you have Noodle on the front with also the track list around. And when you take this out, you got the vinyl. Oh man, I like to smell this sometimes, don't judge me. Anyways, But this is what the vinyl looks like. I don't know how a vinyl works, so that's one thing. But this is side B, so side A would, I guess, would be the side that 2D is on. You have 2D on one side, and you have Noodle on the other side. This is side B. This has all the other songs and everything. But yeah, that's that. And this also marks, as I said, one of the very few, I guess you could say, one of the very few vinyls that I own. I do plan on buying like more vinyls from like other artists. And with that, that marks the end of my collection so far. And of course, up until we end up getting an actual like home or anything due to us paying in a hotel, this remains in the bag up until then, which will probably be months up until we even get an actual home. Well, that pretty much about does it for everything. I should point out that I do plan on getting way more CDs than this. In terms of System of a Down, I plan on getting Mesmerized, which would mark as the last studio album that I need from them, and I'll have all their studio albums because they only made 5. For Gorillaz, all I need is Plastic Beach and Humans, but if you count The Fall, then I guess I'll get The Fall. But in terms of a studio album, because actually no, The Fall is a studio album, but I don't count that, so it'll be mostly just Plastic Beach and The Fall, Plastic Beach and Humans that I'm mostly trying to go for. And in terms of Slipknot, I probably won't get any more of their CDs, and if ever, I'll probably get Iowa, their darkest album that I know of. And for Be Your Own Pet, I plan on getting their last 2 albums, which are Get Awkward and Mommy. And another artist, Melt Banana, Japanese noise rock band, I plan on getting some of their albums too. But however though, for the most part, that about does it for my CD collection. I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I applaud for whoever has sat through this for that long. I hope everybody enjoyed this. If you guys did, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, I guess. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.